Well, as we were finishing up in part one, we said kind of paved the way for some of the ideas that were going to be key during the Renaissance. And as we start seeing the attitudes begin to shift, this is going to be resulting in something called humanism. In large part, they're saying, what has man been able to achieve during his lifetime? And basically, it was focusing on the accomplishments and the successes of the here and now. They were far less concerned about what was to come and the life after, so eternity, versus what was right in front of them. They wanted to see what man was capable of in this life. And because of that, you're going to see far more focus and attention being paid to the importance of man or the individual within art and even within education. So there's going to be a lot more of an emphasis or intentionality about focusing in on what man individually is able to now create. There's going to be a lot of things within this time that are kind of bashing the Middle Ages. They look back even further. They said the Middle Ages kind of got stuck. They look at that window of time and say there wasn't progress, there wasn't anything really going on. It was far more important to now spend their time looking back to the Greeks and the Romans. They said that's the group, or those were the groups that got things accomplished, that came up with new and fresh ideas, that were the ones that were creative. The Middle Ages, they said, in many ways just got stuck in a rut, and now they wanted to look back and have as a motivator, as a muse, the Greeks and the Romans. They said we're going to be able to be far more direct in our efforts to push things forward if we focus on the Greeks and the Romans. There's going to bring a whole host of different scholars that, as the tail end of Constantinople is coming about, you'll remember 1453, the city falls to the Ottoman Turks. And so, as a result of that, people, and especially men that have studied Greek within Constantinople, are now scurrying away so they don't get killed by the Turks. But they're coming and they're going to settle in Italy. They realize that there is a need or a desire to be connected back with the Greek ideas, and so they're going to come to Italy. They're not only bringing what they know, but they're also bringing some of the significant treasures of Constantinople and the rest of the Byzantine Empire. So there's the current things, the tactile and physical objects that are going to be from Constantinople, but they're also looking back and seeing the things from the ancients that are going to be brought as well. They're going to be focused in on something called the Studia Humanitatis. Studia Humanitatis. And what this works out to is the study of the humanities. There's a couple areas that I'd like you to be aware of that they're going to key in on or focus in on that are going to be important as they study the humanities. Some of you guys are aware history is even a humanities course, but these are going to include not only history, but poetry and grammar. So things like English today would fall under the umbrella of humanities. Even something, again, like geography or other social sciences would all be under humanities. As we think about humanism and just kind of tie this up, it basically is this: we're going to focus on the element of human dignity almost as a distinct characteristic which sets us apart from any other creation that God brought about. They're saying we are the most valuable. As we think about our ability to think and create, that sets us apart from anything else within creation, puts a greater emphasis on man. Well, one of the key people that is going to bring about these ideas is going to be the guy on the right, a man by the name of Francesco Petrarch. He is going to be dubbed the founder of humanism. However, unlike what we've kind of focused in on, especially as these guys are coming west from Constantinople, Petrarch says the ideas of Greece are nice and they're fine, but the key thing that he is going to zone in on or focus in on is going to be that of Rome. He said the ideas that come out of the Roman Empire are superior even to that which are going to emerge from Greece. As he starts to develop some of these ideas, he says, I need to go out and see what materials are out there. And so he begins to travel all throughout Europe. He says, what writing has been done, which I can now add to my library to make even my understanding and my teaching more robust. And as he begins to connect with some of the ideas, but even the writing styles of those that have gone before, he begins to add that to his own style. I don't know if you guys have favorite authors. I'm sure that if I was to ask you in class, I could see a few hands being raised, like, I like this style or I like this author. There's a lot of different authors and the way that they write that are out there. And I would guess that a lot of those are fiction writers for you, which is fine. There's something creative and distinct about fiction, which is great. However, I definitely have a guy that I've enjoyed reading within history, a guy by the name of Stephen Ambrose. And I remember in college even writing a paper that I tried to emulate or copy, not word for word by any means, but the way that he told a story. I tried to do that even in my writing of history, going back to when I was 21 or 22. So even as you guys write, whether you intentionally are doing this or not, my guess is that some of these styles that you have immersed yourself in might well show up in your own writing, even for your English teachers. Well, there's going to be a couple things that he is going to connect with. That's going to be epic poetry. We've talked about that even going back to Greece, but even the biographies of some of the key figures of the Roman Empire. When we come back on Monday, we will talk a little bit more about Petrarch, and then we'll jump into the world of art. Art will take us through the end of next week. Just so you know, my plan is to have you guys stick around for the full time on Wednesday. We'll be doing something, or at least most of the time, we'll be doing something a little bit different on Wednesday, which I'm looking forward to. But again, plan on that for Wednesday, doing a little bit more, having a focus or a direct time beyond just these lessons. There won't be a video on Wednesday. It'll be what we will do together in class. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. I hope that it's a good time of rest and recuperation, and we'll see you as we begin week 6. Take care.